Yeah, I mean, it cost me a lot of money hiring attorneys, and the stress was enormous in my life. Driving long distances, it was. But God got me through the whole thing. I got custody, and I raised my daughters, and I raised them with good values, and they never forgot that. And to this day, they're nice human beings, and they are enjoying their lives, and I believe they've got right values. And so I was a success. And of course, it does take a village to raise the children. It takes a lot of people, and above all, I got to thank God for helping me, because He's the one that gives any of us the wherewithal to stand against forces that are just seemingly impossible to stand against. And I went through that, and I admire anybody else that stands up, especially when you're standing up for kids. Okay, 'cause even if I found out my daughters weren't biologically mine, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't let it change my feelings about them, my relationship. I love them, and it's a beautiful thing to be someone's dad, a very trustworthy. And I'm like that with all women. I mean, there's not a woman on earth. There's not a child on earth I couldn't sleep in the same bed with without violating. I love that. That's the man I choose to be. Okay. And even as a teenager, I had made a decision. I mean, I spent all night with a beautiful woman. I mean, two teenagers sleeping together naked all night, enjoying each other's bodies. But hey, she's the boss. That's the way it's got to be, guys. And she says no, that means no. And now I'm a whole nother human being now, because even if she says yes, I might say no, because unless I'm willing to commit myself to a woman, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving, this bowl doesn't give away the milk. Okay, I need a commitment. I don't settle. I need to be 100% certain I can give myself fully to a woman, and that is what I want from her. That she's got to feel she can give herself to me. I'm not giving away the milk. There's not going to be any sex without that. So yeah, I'm a very safe guy. I'm like the opposite of whatever a rapist is, right? I'm not going to violate a woman. I won't touch her, okay, unless that's what she allows, because, but I want that. I certainly do, man. I mean, I miss that the most, so much. I mean, I just, snuggling with my beloved. I miss that, the touch and all that, her touching me and me touching her. And it's the most beautiful things, just everything. I mean, when I think about a female, and I think about just how special they are, and how it's like God's greatest gift, and I mean, the sights and the smells that she emits. I mean, it's a magical, miraculous force of nature. The woman is. These are the baby makers. For God, these are sacred entities. I mean, what is a female? I mean, opposite sex. It's like, this is the exalted one. And even God understands this stuff so much. I mean, I believe God was male initially, and then he's, had an epiphany, light bulb. Wow, hey, what a great idea, God. Yeah, let's talk. Let's make, exact opposite, but exactly the same. You're perfect, custom made, custom fit. I mean, he figured, hey, wow. So he made the female side of him. So then God, this one almighty creator God, was two, but one at the same time, joined at the hips, because that's the way he chose to be. And forever in this love-making posture of creation. And of course he understands a man's love for a woman and his need and his drive. He gets it. A man longs to be whole, and we're unique from women in that when God created us, he created us, whether metaphorically, literally, or both, with this missing rib. So we're never content, guys. You can't be, man. You've got to have that woman in your life that you have given yourself to. And she turns out to be trustworthy and godly, and there's no greater gift. You understand, this woman is God. You're as much as close that you can get to that other side of God without making God jealous. If she's a godly woman, she acknowledges God, it runs her life. So ultimately, she thanks God, gives God honor and gratitude for her existence and who she is as a human being. So it's all perfect. God made it. So he wants us to understand on a very intimate level. a beloved. And I feel that I felt that since childhood. That's what I really want more than anything else. And I still do. I long for it. But I'm still a lonely man. But I'm not the kind to settle. I need to be really hooked on a woman. I need that to, and this is what happened a while back. And my life is better. My daughter thought that was bizarre. That was weird when I said that. You know, it's like I went, I'm delusional. I'm crazy. It's like, dude, look, I may be nuts, but I'm not crazy. And who wants to be freaking normal in a world like this? Like Jesus said, you must hate your life in this world to have everlasting life. You've got to get it. Nothing is as it should be if God was running this show. So you know how many relationships never come to be because of financial reasons. Oh, well, this person's too poor. I'm a gold digger. Guys do it. You know, they're looking for a sugar mama. Women do it. They're looking for a sugar daddy. Or, you know, if they've got money, they want somebody else with money. They would marry within their class, right? So it's accepted among their peers, right? You understand how this thing works? So, you know, the money, Satan injects himself into a lot of relationships. It's the demise of a lot, and it's the obstacle to a lot getting together. So, nothing is as it should be. So how can you not be a little mentally ill? Anybody in their right mind's got to be a little mentally ill. I mean, you know, this is the paradox. You got to live. Somehow you got to get comfortable with it. You know, you long and you thirst and pine for a world without any form of money and no way to corrupt our hearts that are so easily corrupted. You understand? With money, the advantage, you see, this is it. So everybody can't have an advantage, or else nobody's got an advantage. You understand? So they don't want universal prosperity. So there's no way we can ever work together here. It's like oil and water. Either God's going to get his way or Satan's going to get his way. So that money's going to be here forever, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. We're going to descend into hell on earth more and more and more forever, for all eternity, or we're going to let God win this thing. I mean, I tell you what, I've made my choice, and I hope you make your choice, and you have the right values here. But it's good to have the right values. And anyhow, seeking a beloved is something I must do, and I will never stop until I find it or die trying. And it's better to love and lose than to never have loved. So unrequited love is better than none at all. Okay, it's good to be in love. That God shows you, wow, that this person could really make some profound positive changes in my life. I mean, my head spins with delight when I think of just hanging out with her, you know, doing something with her, spending the night with her, snuggling with her. All just puppy love type stuff, the best kind, the purest kind. I've never violate her, never so much as hurt her feelings. I mean, that's what you really want, man. You want somebody to make you all that you could be, all that you could be. Like I say, you know, I don't want to just be a prince among men. I want to be a puppy dog among men. I want to be like the nicest guy in the world. I need a woman to quell that savage beast within me. No psychiatrist, no therapist, no pastor can do that. Okay, I know too much about a lot, and I know what I need, and a woman is what I need, and I believe that holds true for all single men. That's what's lacking in your life, guys. That's the therapy you need. That's the shrink you need as a woman, just to calm you down. So you just sit there and shut up, say nothing, and just feel that peace. Women are very special creatures, and they have a way of emitting a peace that guys just, I mean, we're all a little wound up, you know. We're you know, this the testosterone and all that, the adrenaline, I mean, we're pretty intense, and we need that other side to calm us down so we can enjoy our lives. I mean, I can tell you straight up, I know I weighed 10, 15 pounds more when I was married. It was more than just her cooking. It had something to do with just the peace that I had from feeling whole, not lacking, not longing to feel whole anymore, which I do now. So a final bit of advice on what you can do, tangible, concrete, real way to fight tyranny is to everybody that you pay money to, your bills, you pay bills, right? So somebody has to take your money. Aside from retail and buying online, which there's plenty of competition, you can shop around. But when it comes to things like utilities, telephone, insurance, rent, mortgage, then you could call all these people. You could contact them and say, look, I really could, I'm having a tough time. Even if you're not, it's a little white lie that's paying it forward. You're helping somebody else. Where a little rent increase or increase in their insurance payment is going to set them over the edge. It's a straw that breaks the camel's back. They're going to be couch surfing, living under a bridge, committing a crime to get 3 hots in a cot, killing themselves. Do you understand? So what you could do is do it for somebody else if you don't need it yourself, because you're not doing anyone a favor if you just go along, comply, and conform, capitulate to ever increasing cost of living, to ever perpetual currency dilution, debasement, deworthment. Okay, you're not helping anybody. Okay, and so that's all you can do. I don't know what else. I mean, I could give advice to Trump. I mean, he's got to do something. We need a competing currency. He should pull a JFK. Yeah, I mean, I don't think his supporters should support him. They need a demand. Put a demand on him. That's it. You do something. We want a competing fiat currency. That's it. We want it backed by something. Back it by silver, platinum, gold, whatever. Some finite thing that cost a lot to get out of the ground. But other than that, I mean, pray. It's God ultimately that's going to extricate us from this. And it's us asking for help and guidance from God and the empowerment thereof, and empower other people with the knowledge. Help get them out of confusion and ignorance, out of Babylon. And so we can all work together and be drops in the bucket and become a mighty force against these people. Unify. Don't buy this division they've created. They want us to believe we're divided as Democrats, Republicans, Socialists, and Capitalists, and conservatives and liberals, and it's a bunch of bull. They manufactured that division for their purposes, to disempower us, keep us confused and ignorant and compliant. You see, while they just rip us off. They've got that little critical mass making our lives miserable. I mean, hell, people here, they got to be like athletes, and it just gets harder and harder, and they know they're not getting younger. So they know somewhere along the line the levee's going to break, and they're going to try to get on disability, will themselves disabled, or whatever, maybe go out and get hit by a car so that they can collect disability. The people are desperate. They need help. They need relief. They need less burden. It's getting too onerous. And that hamster wheel gets harder and harder to push. What's going to happen? I mean, they're using us like a guinea pig here in California. And we're in a lot of trouble. And this thing's got legs. It's got momentum. I'm scared of where it's going to stop. I'm really scared for people. There's going to have to be wanton suffering, I mean, before people get it. And people think it's so liberal and radical. Say, a UBI, Universal Basic Income, what, like an extension of Social Security? Why should anybody, if the system works fine and nobody is insecure from birth, why do it? Why should they be fearful, financially insecure, lack financial freedom, if it's unnecessary? You see, it's because these people, these mindless minions and their masters, okay, they can't have everybody with the same advantage, or else nobody's got an advantage. Their advantage, poof, goes away if everybody's prosperous. So you understand how this thing works and what they want and what they don't want. They want to be able to keep ripping you off, stealing from you through making your money worth less all the time, perpetually, year after year, decade after decade. And they've done it since 1963. And there's been certain jumps, too. Like when Slick Willie got rid of the Glass-Steagall Act, which led up to the need for the bailout of '08. The need, okay? Going against the will of the people, 90% of the American people. Getting off the gold standard, the 70s, Nixon. So, that's the best advice I've got. I mean, as far as something tangible, that's it. It's just put the word out. I mean, even if you're not doing it for yourself, do it for somebody else. Don't just go with the flow, man. The path of what you've been taught and trained to believe is the path of least, because in the long run, it's not. You'll stand before God and give account for being a coward. Essentially, that's what it is, to go with the path of least resistance. and prescribe to an ignorance is bliss philosophy. And you're going to get a coward's reward. You're going to squeak into hell, and you're going to have the most vile of people through the ages running your life down there. Because you don't die ever, okay? You just are condemned to that place. You're not found fit. You're not found worthy and deserving of inheriting a renewed earth with nobody that wants an advantage over you and no way to get an advantage over you. No money, no Satan. That's a place you want to go.